Hey, hello there.
Hello.
Hello. I see I've been struggling a bit with your camera there.
Yes, I fixed it up.
So, hey, Rafat, hey, Rubayat, how are you guys?
Hello. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing good. So, how many guys are there? Can you tell me?
I think two or three more. Yes.
Good, three more. Okay, that's good.
Mm.
So, okay, so let me, as this is our first session, let me just introduce myself. I'm Minto Tamjid. So I'll basically be taking care of your practice session. So this session is a practice session. There is a live session where I think there was already a live class because I already know about it. And this will be a follow-up session where I'll basically be discussing about the homeworks you guys are given in your live classes and if you guys have any problems with it. So before moving to our actual session, just let's just introduce ourselves first. Rafa, you can go ahead. Like your name, what you do, where are you now, and just small.
Uh, I'll go first.
Yeah,
Hello,
sure.
I'm Rafat, and I've been in my undergrad was in electrical engineering from Bangladesh, and from Buet, and here I'm in United States right now. I'm doing my graduate studies in electrical engineering, but I don't want to be an electrical engineer anymore. Yeah, so this is I'm here. My friends recommended me to contact to Algorithm. I applied here, and luckily I got in. So I'm here with you guys. You're stuck with me, and yeah, and I have a very little knowledge in JavaScript. I'll be honest with you, but I'm hoping to get to know everything within. I'm a very fast learner. Hopefully, I'll be able to prove that to you guys. Thank you.
Okay. So you're from Ruet. You're completing the bachelor's in
No, Buet.
Buet. Okay, cool. So you are doing the master's there?
Yes, I'm doing a master's here at UTRGV, that is University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley. This is very close to the border of the Mexico.
Mexico, yeah.
Mexico, yeah, it's almost like Mexico is 25 miles from my place. So I can just go and visit.
So why did you choose doing your master's in Tripoli if you don't want to pursue Tripoli anymore?
Okay, so the thing is, I had a peer pressure, and my family wanted me to go for PhD.
Okay.
And I said no, quit it. Even in the first year, I was struggling with my electrical engineering studies. My research work wasn't that good. I wasn't finding anything that I liked there, and I liked robotics, to be honest about it. But I couldn't get any decent funding in robotics in the last year when I looked into it. It was just after I came into the United States. So I looked there, and then I thought that I don't want to be here, and I want to do something like programming. And at the beginning of my undergrad studies, I chose electrical engineering because my senior brothers and everybody told me to go for electrical engineering because that was the trendy thing back then. But right now, if somebody had given me another choice to go back in time and to do anything else, I would have tried to be focused on computer science because I like coding. I don't like the other part, data structure or something like that, those theoretical courses, but I like the coding part. I enjoyed those things, and I actually was involved in many line follow robots and something like that. I constantly try to include myself in microprocessor engineering, microcontroller projects involving those things. So I was fond of it, but I didn't get a chance to switch back then. But now I have the opportunity to go for OPT and like to switch right now. So that's why I'm trying to do it now.
So did you graduate or are you going to graduate
I am
soon?
going to graduate hopefully in December.
Okay.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Good luck.
Thank
So hey, Rubat, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing good. So like him, I'm also from Buet. I'm a senior. I graduated in 17 and then came back to US. I did my master's here in mechanical engineering. So I was doing a dual, I was actually enrolled into PhD. So I was doing a master, I did my master's in mechanical engineering, and also by side, I was doing master's in supply chain management, because a lot of my courses was related to business professionals, like operational research, this kind of thing. So suddenly, due to COVID and all this stuff, our project got run out of funding. So my professor said, if you want to get out now and get your second master's and get out, it's okay with me. So right now I'm just doing that because because the project I was working on with the aviation, it got stuck and there's no funding, and I don't want to get involved in another project and start my PhD from the beginning. That's I don't want to take that
So
route.
basically
So that's,
opted out from PhD and doing your master's now.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's the case. Yeah.
Okay then. So how was your
And
last class? How is your last
and-
live class?
Yeah, it was good. It was good. Like, I actually joined Algorithm in like in beginning of the September. Yeah, I'm in 3 weeks, so I actually got the contents and I actually followed those things previously. So in last week, I didn't have that much new things. I already covered those things, and I have already submitted the homework also.
Okay,
Yeah, that's
so
the case.
you have already completed your homework one. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to ask you guys a few more questions, like about so far how what are the experiences with programming, like how do you explain like how much you have got exposed to programming so far? What are your experiences?
I was in my business courses, I was mostly involved in data analytics part, like RStudio, Python, those kind of machine learning things. But now I did not have any background into JavaScript or these things. I actually, this is the totally new field. I was actually hoping that I would go to the data analytics or business analytics, this kind of position. But I talked with mentor Siam, and he told me that but those are limited positions. But in a team, you can get only one business analyst position, but you have 5 or 6 web developers.
Yeah,
so that is the
that's
case.
true.
So you should look for it, and you can use that background also. But right now, we should focus on web developing and this kind of JavaScript, this kind of front-end program and back-end things.
But I think
So that's
from what I understand, talking with you guys, like you guys have somewhat exposure to programming, like you guys know what programming is. It's not like absolutely new to programming, you didn't have any idea. So, yeah, so that's actually a good thing, because sometimes when someone is completely new to programming or programming language, they get like overwhelmed by the like the nature of what programming language is, how does it work, and that sort of thing. So as you guys are already whatever it is, what amount of experience do you have, but you guys are already know like what a programming language is. That's good enough actually for you guys to start with it. Okay then. So like I said, so this session is basically a follow-up session of our live class. So in our live class, you guys will be taught basically the contents, and at the end of the class, you guys will be basically provided with a bunch of homeworks or practice problems. And later on, at the end of the week, before your submission or after your submission, we will have this session so that we can discuss about the problems you guys faced during solving the problems, or anywhere like along the way. So any confusions or any queries you guys have, and we'll basically go over those problems and try to figure out what's the issue there. Okay. Yeah,
I had
right,
one
go ahead.
question.
Yeah.
So during homework one and these homeworks, I have been taking a lot of help from, like, I go to the websites and see like Stack Overflow. If I get any stack and I read the coding there, is this okay, right?
Yeah,
I mean, I get
absolutely
help
fine.
from,
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. As long
because
as you understand like what is happening and what you're doing, it's absolutely fine that you get help from some sources or some resources. because
Yeah.
there is no way you could come up with, always you can come up with your own solution, or you can come up with figure out things on your own, because you are relatively new to this. So yeah.
Mhm.
So okay. So I think, yeah, you said already you have already submitted your homeworks, right? Rubaiyat?
Yeah, homework one. Yeah, homework
So
one.
how
But
did you submit it?
I just uploaded in click. What's the ClickUp? Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know how to do GitHub and this stuff. I need help with that.
okay, so cool. Yeah, so into the session we'll also be discussing a little bit about Git and GitHub, and I'll tell you guys like how to organize your code and how to submit them on GitHub. And before going to that, I'll just give you guys a link, a YouTube link. So after the session today, I'll just cover the basics, very basics, like just the bare one of how to upload your code to GitHub and how to share it with us. But after that, I want you guys to go through this video. Like in this video, like this is a 1 hour length of video, and in this video, you will basically they will basically teach you guys all about the fundamentals of Git and GitHub. So after this session, I recommend you guys to go through the whole video. But in my session, I'll just cover the absolute bare bone of the necessity that is required for you guys to upload your homeworks to GitHub and share it with us. I'll just quickly share my screen. Okay, before that, Rafat, did you have the chance to go through the homeworks of this?
I actually was working on the past videos. I just started working on those like 1 hour ago. I'll be honest with you. And the first thing I noticed is when I started working on my Visual Studio Code, but somehow if I try to run it, it brings up the Chrome window, and inside the Chrome window, it's saying me localhost 8080 is not found, or something like that. I'm got stuck. So I was coding in an online JavaScript software website that's called, let me check please. Hold on. It should be open here. Oh, jsfidel.net.
Yeah,
I was
understand.
coding there. Yes, so I was
So,
coding there. I was running my code.
in the live class, did Mentor Shamud tell you guys like how to work around with JavaScript in Visual Studio Code?
Yeah, I think he did. I think he
Okay,
did.
so I think can you just go over the video once again and see like how did you do that? So, and if you still the problem is persists, then just reach out to me past live.
Okay. Thank you.
I don't think Mentor Shammo told about the how to do, because he didn't have his Mac and thing, and he was doing it on some online portal, I guess. He's
Okay.
like Rafat. Was doing in some online, but he didn't show up in
Yes.
actual Visual Studio Code. Yeah.
Okay, then I think I'll just show it how. Yeah.
That will be very helpful. Thank you.
Okay, so let me just share my screen. Can I just see my Visual Studio Code? Okay. Before moving on to the code, like how to run the JS in Visual Studio Code, I'll just give you a small structure, like how this will organize your codes and later on submit it to us. So for this course, this is your ITJS, Introduction to Programming JavaScript. So you will have let's say you have a folder called ITJS established, right? So, and you will have, over the course, you'll have multiple homeworks. So for each homework, you will have another subfolder. So like we can see here, have homework 1. By the way, you guys the font is small or big enough to see? Okay. So,
Yes.
So I have here homework 1, homework 2, and 3, and so on. So you will have, I think, up until homework 4 or 5, something like that. So for each folder, you will guys use each folder for each of your, to have all the problems under each of this folder. So let's say homework 1 has like 5 or 6 problems. So you will have either, you can do it in a single JavaScript file, or maybe you can have separate JavaScript file for each problems. Let's say problem1.js, problem2.js, something like that. Okay. Then, okay, so that's that will be your folder structure, and I'll come to the GitHub button later on. I'll just first show like how to run your code in Visual Studio Code. Let's say, so the one simple trick is to, have a HTML file. Then add your script file here. By the way, you got, assuming you guys were introduced to HTML, or right?
I went through the video
Yeah.
and it showed me how to create this file, this line of codes with a
Okay, cool.
shortcut.
Okay, cool. Then that's fine. So then after that you can, so one way to run your HTML code is directly you can go to the HTML file from your folder and click on it, double click on it, it will open on your browser, right? So there is one, I would suggest you guys to install few extension for your VS Code. So one would be Live Server. So you guys will install this extension. So from this tab, you can go to extension and search for it, Live Server, and just install it. So what it does is basically lets you, so if I just right click on my HTML file here, and it will come up with a option called Open with Live Server. And this will basically let me open my HTML file directly from my VS Code. So if I click on it, okay, so I think I just shared my application there. I'll just share my screen here. Okay, so did I share my screen right?
Yes.
So can you see my browser? Okay,
Yes.
cool.
Yes.
So I've already loaded my HTML file. And if I go to inspect and go to console here, and let me go back to VS Code again and write some code here. Just console log hello. And come back to my browser, and you can, as you can see here, I have here the hello is printed out in my console, right? So that is one way of doing, and I would say for that to start with, that would be the most easiest way to start with, running a JavaScript file inside of a browser. So just say add a HTML file, it can be blank, and just add your script file here, and then write whatever the JavaScript code you want to run here. So I think Rafa, is your name Rafat or Rafayat? Rafat, I guess, yeah. So I think you try to run the JS code using the play button,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, I think I had one instance running on the background. I created the server. I was going through another video that was working on the HTML and CSS file. So I think I maybe because I tried to open two servers using the live server, it didn't work. So now I closed the first one from the background, and now it's working.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
So the previously, like you said, you are facing a problem with localhost or something. I think back. So did you try this method using the HTML and JavaScript, or did you try opening or running your JavaScript using the play button or run code?
Sorry. I was setting up my computer. Sorry, my bad. Can you please repeat that?
Oh, I was asking the first time you were facing a problem. So did you try
Mhm.
opening a JavaScript file using HTML file, or did you try running it with a display button or something like that?
Oh, I was trying to use it with the run and debug start
Yes,
run.
yeah, start debugging, right? I think
Yes,
yes. Okay,
I was trying
so
to do that.
we can also do that. So for that, you need a little bit of what is it?
Okay,
Little
got
bit of
it. Now.
configuration for that. So that's why you
Okay.
couldn't. I'll just try and do that as well. So if I select my environment here, then it will
Mhm.
let me choose Chrome or Edge or Node.js. So I'll just,
Yes.
let's say for now, I'll just stick with Chrome here.
Okay.
So it will basically add you can see there is this one file is added here, launch.json.
Okay.
So yeah, so that will basically, this is the basic configuration for,
Mhm.
for your debugger to run.
Okay.
So if I now go back to my JS file and start debug, it should work now. Okay, so I think this is the problem you faced, right?
Yes, I
Okay.
was stuck here.
So there should be something. Usually it should work. Localhost and yep, everything looks good to me. But for some reason it's not working. So I think I'll just do one thing. That is okay. So for now, just use the HTML one. That will
Yes.
work for
Okay.
now. So as I don't use the the built-in debugging feature as much, so I can't really say for now like what's the problem there. But usually that's how it should work. Just add your configuration file and then it should open in your browser. Okay, so I'll move back to GitHub. Sorry, my VS Code. By the way, are you able to run your JS file, right? You are able to run the JS file.
No, no. I was actually setting up things. I did. Sorry, I was setting up things and I couldn't complete it. I'm trying it right now. Just give me
Okay.
like 30 seconds. I'll try to figure it out. Thank you.
Okay, okay.
Uh, can I share my screen for a little bit
Okay, go
and
ahead. Yeah, sure.
show you that if I'm doing it properly or
Okay,
not?
okay.
Okay, let me just open up my. I think the sharing option is disabled.
Yeah, go ahead. Try now.
Thank you. Thank you. So I'm opening up my this thing here, JavaScript, and you told me to run it from here, right?
Right.
Run it from this live
So
server.
before that, you have to do one thing inside of your body in HTML.
Yes.
Go to HTML file.
Okay.
So inside of your body, add a script tag.
Okay. Oh, script. I got it.
Right. Yeah. You have to add. You have to tell your HTML file that I have a JavaScript file. So this is the JavaScript
Okay.
file.
Okay. Yeah. I think. Okay. Got it.
So no. So go to the first tag, first script tag.
Mhm.
At the end of it, space
class
src source.
Yes. Oh, okay. It's a source.
Yeah, then equal, then just point it to the JS file. You have a drop down, little drop down. Yeah.
Okay.
And that should work.
Okay. Thank you. I'll save it.
And now run it with the. I think it's already running, so you can just go to your browser and check it.
Yes, it's already running. Let me share it one more time. So I believe. Okay.
Yeah, so you can see the hello there now.
Oh yeah, I saw it. Oh, I was hoping to see it over here. Oh, this is here. Oh,
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I'll hand over to you.
Okay. Okay, so I'll just move on to the GitHub partner, like how you guys will be. I think you guys, all of you guys have provided with a GitHub repository from Algorithm or something like that. Yeah, okay, cool. Okay, so can you guys see, sorry. So before moving on to the GitHub part or Git part, so are you guys familiar with this thing called terminal here? I think you're not. So terminal is something that let's say interact with like let's say interact with a computer, by typing something or writing something. Like I think you guys already know the history of computer, like how computers got evolved through time. So before at the very beginning, there was no like user interface like what we see right now. Like we have to see everything now. We have visually, right? We can interact with by clicking using our mouse and keyboard, right? So but before this we could only type commands, and that's how we interact with our computer, like by typing something. So terminal is basically that part of the computer where it lets you type a command and you can basically interact with your computer by saying or telling the computer to do a specific thing. So so what we need to do before that, we need to install, obviously, the first thing we need to do is install Git in our computer, right? So if you guys have whatever it is, either Mac or Windows, just say git download and you will be redirected through this website where you can just simply choose your operating system and download your download the Git. So once you download your Git, you should be able to write this command inside of a terminal. So if you write git here, let's say -v, sorry. So it will basically let you write this specific git command. So by the way, is it feasible? You guys can clearly see it, whatever I'm writing, or do I need to make it big, larger?
I can see it.
Okay, cool.
Actually, when I'm going to download it, there's several options like binary installer, Xcode, Homebrew. Which one should I go for?
You can use the, I guess, binary one, right? So
Yeah, this
Xcode,
one. Now,
yeah. So do you have Brew? Okay, so Brew is another another application that lets you install softwares using terminal. So for now, you can just I think you can just go for the binary installer. Rafa, could you download Git?
Yes, I'm on Windows, so I am installing it right now.
Oh, cool. So let me know when you're done installing your Git.
It's giving me lots of options, like when
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
installing
yeah,
it. I'm
yeah.
just skipping the default ones.
Yeah, just skip the default one. That should be
Okay, okay. Yeah, like there were like 12 or 15 choices.
fine. Right, yeah.
Too many, too many. I'm finished with my installation.
Okay, so can you go to your
I'm-
VS Code?
I'm in Mac. Actually, I'm in Mac and it's not letting me install it. It's saying that it cannot be opened because it's from an unidentified developer or something. Mac OS
Oh,
cannot
okay, yeah.
verify this app.
So yeah. So what you can do is can you quickly share your screen? So I'll just guide
Okay,
it.
yeah. Just a minute. Yep. Can you see
Yeah.
my screen? Yeah.
So just
yeah,
click
this is the
OK
case.
for now.
Nothing is happening.
Yeah. So go to your like what do you call it? System preferences.
Yeah.
Yes. Then go to security and privacy. Second row, right? Second row.
Second row.
Height,
Okay,
right?
got it.
Yeah.
No.
Then go to general. Select the tab general. Yeah. Then there is, you can see an option called open anywhere.
Yeah.
Open, yeah. Now that should
Okay.
open.
Okay.
That should let you
Got
open.
it.
Rafat, were you able to install? The installation finished?
Yes.
Okay, so
I installed it
then
and I put in git space v -v, and it shows me the options.
okay, cool. So
inside the term.
yeah, so it should it's not, I guess, it's not get space. It should be the dash dash version. Then it will show you the version you installed. Yeah, like that. Were you able to get the version?
So, which file did you open here? I mean, open editors, and then what happens here? I mean, how should I go to the terminal?
Yeah, so you can press Command J, or in the at the top here you have a terminal option. Then you can just click on New Terminal there.
Yeah, got it. Okay.
For Windows, it's Control J, and for Mac, it's Command J.
Got it. Yeah, I got it at it says 2.33.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So you have your Git installed now. And how about Rubai? Can you check your version?
Just a minute. And sure. Now in terminal, what should I write? I mean, it's just showing me.
You should write git dash dash version.
Just a minute. So should write git dash
dash version.
Okay. It's showing command not found. I guess it might be related that I was.
Command not, that basically kind of means that your Git was not properly installed.
I restarted my virtual Visual Studio just to be sure.
Yeah, you can try doing that as well.
Actually, I was working on something in a folder, and it's every time I opening the Visual Studio, it's directly going to that folder. I mean, in the terminal, I'm seeing ITJS week 2. I was writing some code, and it's just going to.
So
that
you can just
part.
go to the file here, and close there should be a close project or the close folder option here. So in that way, it will just give you a clean VS Code.
Okay. Got it. So now, it's again showing me that command not found.
Okay, so it could be either the installation did not work properly, or you might need to restart your computer. So that's not a problem.
Okay.
So after a session, we can reinstall the software, and or just restart your computer, then just follow as you are going to do from now. Okay, so I have created a new repository for this to show you guys this demo here. So like I said, if I go back to VS Code, and after installing Git, we can now use this Git command, right? So it will basically let us use the Git command. So if I just write Git and press enter, it will basically show us a bunch of other options it comes with the Git. So we'll basically use just just 3 commands for now, for this for our today's purpose, or for you guys to upload your homeworks to GitHub and then send us the link. Okay. So for that, so before that, I'll just give you a small introduction, like what Git is and what GitHub is. So Git is basically lets us do bunch of things. So for the simple things would be it lets us basically control the version. So let's say you have a software, and software comes with various many versions, like let's say from version 1 to version 2, version 3, 4, and so on. So it basically lets you do the version controlling. So the Git was first initially introduced for specifically for this purpose to control the versions of your softwares, to track all the changes of each versions from one version to another version. So then comes to our second point, that we, let's say, in your project or in your software that you are trying to develop, there are like you have multiple software developers or multiple developers working on that particular project. So then how do you track, like in each developer's progress or each developer contribution to that progress or to that project, right? So Git basically lets you do that as well. So whenever so there is a concept called commit. So commit is basically uh, basically a history of all the changes that you have made to your project. Let's say right now I have these 3 folders and these two, one HTML file, one JS file inside of homework 1. You have homework 2 is empty, homework 3 is empty. So I'll just as I explain what Git is, I'll just also demonstrate like what do I mean by it. So what I'll do is I'll just write a bunch of commands. I will explain them later after we can see it on our screen. So first, so here you can see something, right? So /desktop /algorithm /itjs hws, right? So what I will do is, so these are basically my folder name. So on my desktop, I have a folder called algorithm, and inside of the algorithm folder, I have itjs hws, and inside of that, and I'm inside of that itjs hws folder. So what I want to do is I want to basically, okay, so that you guys understand, I'll do one thing, that is, so I will open the folder. Now you can see it, I'm inside the algorithm folder, and inside of the algorithm folder, I have itjs hws, and inside of the itjs folder, we have hw1, 2, and 3. I did that because I wanted to, as I was inside the itjs hws folder, and so if I added or pushed inside from that folder, it would only push these 3 folders, but rather I wanted to be inside of algorithm folder and push the whole itjs hws folder. That's why I just moved back to one directory. So now I'll do a couple of things. And okay, before doing that, the new repository you guys are given. So now if you go to that repository, you should be seeing something like this. As right now you don't have anything inside of a repository. So now how do your computer or how do your VS Code know that this is the repository you want to know? So you have to tell your Git that, okay, this is the repository I want to use for this project. So you can do that simply by, here you can, first we have to initialize Git inside of the folder we want to use Git. So you can do that by using git init. So git init will basically it will basically tell git, okay, this is the inside of this algorithm folder, whatever it is inside of this folder, this is now part of git. So you can, inside of this folder, you can basically perform all the functionalities using git now. So it will basically tell, okay, now this is part of git. So it will initialize git inside of this our current directory or current folder. So now I'll copy this line which says git remote add origin and this URL. So you will, this is the link from my repository. So if you go to your repository that you are given by algorithm, you should have something similar base like this, and you will also have a similar similar commands like this, as you can see from my screen. So your URL will be something different. So this is my URL. So your URL and my URL won't be the same. So your URL should be something like algorithm / whatever the repository name you have. So right now, as I'm using my my account for GitHub, so it is Tamjit Karim and / my this is my repository. So that's how the URL looks like from my end. So it will be different from your end. So I'll just copy this link and I'll just paste it here. So what it will do is it will basically add this repository in this current folder. Okay, cool. So now my repository is added to this folder. So now I can do like bunch of perform bunch of git commands, and eventually I will basically push all these files and all these folders and files to my GitHub. Okay. So I have done like 3 commands. So by performing the 3 commands, what I've done is I have pushed all these codes from my computer, from my local computer to my GitHub repository. So if I go back to here and refresh this, I should be seeing all the things I have done in my local computer. So here you can see I have a folder called IT.js HWs. If I go inside of that folder, I have one HW1 and HW. So you can see like I don't have HW2 and 3. So the reason for that is inside those 2 folders are empty, and Git don't push empty folders to repositories because as those don't have anything inside of that. That's why. So okay, so this is our first commit. Now let's say inside of HW2 I want to add my HW2's basic problem for HW2. So problem1.js, right? So that is something new. So on my local computer, that is something new that doesn't exist on my repository, right?
Can I share my screen? I wanted to show something actually.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
go ahead.
So this is my, GitHub profile. I'm not seeing any repositories or repositories. How should I see?
Yeah.
If I go here,
yeah. If
but
go there,
how do I go from here?
So for that, you
I
have
mean,
a new button there. You can see a new green button. So that will basically let you create a new repository on in your profile. Yeah. So you give a repository name, let's say whatever it is, slash repository name. Yeah.
okay. But
And
I mean, how do I connect my, I mean, algorithm? I was thinking that algorithm give me an invitation of a repository. How do I
right.
find that one? So, I mean,
So how do you find that on did they provide you
I
any
mean,
link for that?
yeah,
They can
I think they provided me a link and I accepted. I got an invitation in algorithm, and this is, if I click here, I'm going here. This is the link,
Okay,
or
so
I'm
yeah,
not
yeah,
sure.
this is what it is. So basically, from my end, what you have seen is there was nothing. So what the algorithm has done is they have initiated the first commit basically. Okay, so that's why there is a,
This
you can
one.
see, yeah, so there is a readme.md file. There is already something inside of your repository. So what you can do is go back.
Okay.
Yeah, so there is a green button called code. So no. So go back to the algorithm repository.
Yeah, I'm asking about that actually. How do I go to, I mean, every time, should I search for it, or I can go from here to the algorithm repository? I mean, if I see, I don't
Oh,
see
okay.
any
What you can do
repository
is
from
go back and you can basically add it to your. There should be a star.
this one.
Yeah. So there's a star. You
Okay.
can start that basically. Start this repository. Yeah.
Okay.
So then, if you go
Okay.
back to your profile and there is your star repository, your stars.
Okay.
Yeah. From
Okay.
there you can basically. Yeah.
Okay.
So now,
Okay. Got it.
so the process for you guys is a little bit different. So that would be
Mhm.
okay. So I'll show that now. Okay.
Okay.
You can stop sharing and let me share it. Let's do that again. So for you guys, the process will be a little bit different. So for you guys, you already have something in your repository, right? Let's say
Yeah.
instead of README file, I have this. So you have to start from here. So for that, what you can do is you can click here, then you can see a HTTPS link, right? So either you can
Yeah.
do one of two things. You can directly download this using this. It will
Mhm.
download your repository as a zip file on your computer. Or what you can do is, as you already know how to use your terminal, so we won't download our zip file, but rather we'll copy this link and go back to our VS Code. For now, I'll close this folder. I will open a new folder. So I have opened a new folder here, and I will again open my terminal here. So I will write this command, git clone. So what git clone does is, let's say you already have a repository on GitHub. Now you have bought a new computer. So how do how do you get your project on your computer now? So that's how you do it. You go to a repository, you copy that link, and inside of a terminal, you say git clone, and you paste that link and enter. Now here you have your, see, now here you have your,
Okay. Okay. So what does this open with GitHub desktop does? I mean, I have downloaded another thing like GitHub desktop. So can I, from there, I can
so
directly code it?
yeah, so the GitHub desktop is basically a GUI application or application that has user interface. So instead of writing all the comments inside of a terminal, you will use the, you have a application interface, and there you can do all the things that you can perform by that. So sometimes, yeah, sometimes people are not very familiar with the terminal, so they feel rather uncomfortable using it. So that they want something, that's something they can interact with, something that has UI. But as you guys are going to be a software developer, so it is highly recommended that you guys get yourself familiar with the terminal, because it is something that you guys will be using like regularly once you are into this, you are developing something, you are doing something as a developer. So that's why I've chosen not to show you guys the GitHub desktop. Rather, I have chosen to show you guys how to do it in the terminal. So again, terminal is for now, I think this is optional as long as you guys can upload your code GitHub. It is doesn't really matter how do you guys do it, using the application or using the terminal. It's up to you guys. But I would highly recommend that you guys get yourself familiar with the terminal. So that will help you in the long run. So as you have guys seen, so I have done this. So now I have cloned the remote repository to my computer now. So it exactly has everything that was in my repository. So it has ITJS HW's folder. Inside of that folder, I have HW1. So now let's say I want to add a new folder called HW2, right? Because you guys will have HW2 later on. So now I have added that, and inside of the folder I will have a JavaScript file. Okay, so now for this repository, that this folder and this file is new. It does not exist in our remote. So you guys will get yourself familiar with these two terms. One is local, one is remote. So local means something that anything on your computer is local, and remote basically means that in your GitHub repository. So GitHub repository is the remote, and the local part is your computer. So index, this JavaScript and HW2 folder exists on my local, but it does not exist on my repository, right? So now how do we add these changes to my remote repository? So we'll do the same 3 commands that I performed before. So that will be git add. So this is the first command you guys have to remember for now. Later on, you guys will get used to it. So git add basically add all the changes that you have done on your local machine. It will tell, okay, so these are all the files, and Git will add it. Sorry. So as you can see, it said not a Git repository or any of the parent directories. So the reason why I got this error, because I was inside the demo folder, but the demo folder was not the actual repository. The actual repository was the demo algorithm folder that I cloned from my GitHub, right? So I'll just quickly introduce you guys to a simple command that is called cd. It is cd. So it is a native command for any terminal you use, rather that be a Windows terminal or Mac OS terminal or Linux terminal. So cd basically means change directory. So for that, you don't have to install anything. So any terminal comes with that, this basics command that you can run on inside of a terminal. So cd basically means change directory. So before I was inside of demo folder, so I said cd demo algorithm. So the folder I want to get into, change my directory into. So now I am inside of demo algorithm. So one more command will be cd dot dot. It will basically take you back to your previous folder. If I do this, now again I am inside of demo folder. So cd is a very common command that you will be using to change directories, because you will always be working with directories. So I'll go back to demo algorithm. Now this folder is part of my repository. So now I do, if I write git add, so it will add everything, all the changes. to my Git repository, not the Git repository, but rather the local repository. So the second thing will be, so second command that you guys need to know is git commit. The commit basically means is, okay, it basically, now that we have added all the changes, the commit basically means, okay, I'm sure of all the changes I have done. It will basically tell Git, okay, so these are my final changes. I don't have anything to add for this commit anymore. So as for this is my second commit, you see there is one small little thing, -m. So it basically lets you add a little message to your commit. So that all the commits that you do to your repository are meaningful. And later on, when you like go and check your previous commits, you understand, okay, so this commit was for this purpose, this commit was for this purpose. So as for now, this is my second commit. So that's why I've just written the message second commit. If I press enter, you can see like I have this new file was created. Like as you can see, I created index.js. So it basically says hw2 index.js. This file was created. That is absolutely right. So the third and final command for you guys to remember is git push origin master.
I had a question. So, I mean, when we are creating these things, it's getting in the server or online. I mean, when we're committing or these things, I mean, we already created the HW2 and index.js in the local file.
Yeah. So far, none of this happened to online, like I said. So for this, that's why I use two terms. One is for local and remote. So far, everything I have done is on your local computer. So Git is something that is not related to anything online. GitHub is something that is related to online. So Git is something that let you manage all of this inside of your local computer. And GitHub is something that basically, like that is kind of, think of it Google Drive, something you have on a local computer, or you just keep it there for backup or something. GitHub is something like that, a hosting service. It let you host all of your codes inside of the GitHub repository, GitHub. So Git is something that is done inside of your local computer. Okay, so yeah.
So I mean, we already created the folder. I mean, also the index.js file. So why we're trying to, I mean, add it to the Git? What's our purpose? What's our end goal?
Okay, so I'll just let you guys visualize this a little bit later. Okay, so I will perform one last command for you guys to remember. So one is git add, the second command is git commit, and the third command will be git push. So we'll git push origin master. So like you said, if it was all these things are happening online or local. So far everything was local. So by writing this command, I will make sure, okay, so whatever the changes I have made on my local machine also get changed on my, the GitHub repository, because right now my GitHub repository don't have any HW2 folder, right? So if I go to here and you can see there is no HW2. So now if I press enter, and again, if I go back to my GitHub repository and refresh, there you can see the HW2 folder, and inside of the HW2 folder, we have our index.js. Okay, so the three commands are git add, git commit, and git push. Git add and commit, if that is on your local machine, once you do the git push, it will basically push all the changes that you have done on your local machine to your remote GitHub repository. Now coming to your question, like, what is the purpose of doing all these things? Why are you doing this anywhere? Like, we can not just, let's say, like I gave you an analogy of Google Drive, right? Can you not just upload all of our code to Google Drive? Why using GitHub and Git anyway? So the reason behind this, the concept, I'll just introduce you to one very simple concept, which is commit. So on my GitHub, you can see there is two commits, and if I click on it, it will take me to this page where it will show me first commit, second commit, and so this is basically the history of all the changes that I have made to this specific repository or Git. Though if I go to first commit, you will see in the first commit only the HW1 exists. There is no HW2, even though on our latest or second commit there is HW2, but on our first one there is no HW2. On our second commit, if you go to there, then it will let you show, okay, so you have added a new file or new folder HW. So the I think you get the like concept of what you're trying to do here. So you have a big project and you have like lots of developers working on your project, right? So let's say so like I said, the main purpose of using Git was version controlling. Let's say you have released a new version of your app, which is version 2. Previously it was version 1. So first commit is our version 1 and second commit is our version 2, right? So let's say after releasing your version 2, there was a massive bug or massive error on your inner app that you did not face previously. After releasing, you are saying, okay, there is this massive bug, and what you need to do is you need to go back to your previous release immediately, because you cannot let the users use that version because that version is not stable yet. So what you can do is you can simply go back to your previous commit and roll it as the main release. So that's how basically you will have all, and using Git you will have basically all the histories of your all the changes. And also there is a concept called branch as well, so that I will not touch for now. So for that you guys will have to, that is why I have shared that video. That is a 1 hour long video, and in that video almost all the fundamentals of Git, like what is Git, why is Git, how is Git, everything is pretty much explained. So for now my goal was to just to show you guys how you upload all the homeworks to Git. So yeah, so that's basically it. So that is how you guys will be uploading all of your homeworks to GitHub. So once you done uploading your homeworks to GitHub, so now you have for each folder for each homework, right? Homework 1, homework 2. So if you go to, like, let's say if I go to homework 2, so what you are required to do is you for all of your tasks there is a ClickUp task, right? So yeah, so you guys are required to just copy this link and paste it inside of that particular task you are trying to do, right? So that how whoever is like creating your homeworks will easily check your homeworks from GitHub. Otherwise otherwise it would be rather like Rubaiyat, you have uploaded your first homeworks, right? Using the HTML and CSS, you have directly. So now you see the difficulties. Now I have to download the HTML files, download JavaScript files, open inside of my. But if I have like inside of it, I can just directly go to the open the file here and check all of your your
but
homeworks. Yeah.
Can you run it? Can you run it there?
So I cannot run it
can you
here,
run?
but there is this good thing that GitHub added so very nicely. That is, if you go back, if you go to a specific repository and press your full stop or period button, it will open a web editor on your browser of that repository.
Oh, nice.
So that is a cool little thing they have added recently.
Okay.
So now
Thank you.
you have basically a VS Code on your browser, and I've not run anything so far. Let's say, okay, so the terminal is not yet supported here on the web version of VS Code. So that's something. You can basically here, you can just basically browse your all the files and see. Okay, so basically that will be yeah.
What was the shortcut you said? The shortcut you said
the
to
full
go to
stop
the-
button or the period, full stop or period button, full stop button.
Okay, okay, got it. Okay, got it.
Okay, so I'll for I think we're already over time, so I'll just quickly go to our homework one and see. There's like 11 problems. I think Rubat, you have already done it. So Rafat, I think you have already
I haven't
started.
done the bubble sort algorithm.
Okay,
the
so that
bubble
is
sort
not.
algorithm.
That is also, I think, that is something was optional, right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So because that is related to algorithms, so if you're not familiar with algorithms, so you should not be able to, or you are not expected to solve this problem. So that is why it is optional. It's optional problem. So Rafat, I think you have started looking at it. So once you are done going through all the problems, just if you either it can be, we also have a session next week, so it can be, you can, it's up to you. So if you need,
I'll try to finish up by tonight.
yeah. So it's up to you.
Is
If
there-
it's
is-
urgent, then you can reach me via Slack, or you think it's not that urgent, then you
Okay.
can ask me in our next session as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so that will be basically for today. So you guys, do you guys have any question that you might want to ask?
No, that's good.
Oh, okay, cool. So I
Ah.
think that'll be it for today. So thank you everyone for coming, and have a good day. Have a good night.
You too.
actually.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.
Goodbye. Goodbye.